Alright guys, welcome to another Zenless Zone Zero video today, and today we're going to be diving right into Caesar's banner and talking about her. I'm pretty much going to be trying to answer the question for you guys if you should summon on Caesar King. If you want my short answer at the beginning of the video, here it is. Flat no. Big L, big no. Big NO right there. Do not summon on this if you care. If you actually care about meta and like team building and like usefulness of characters and like bang for your buck, I would not at all suggest pulling Caesar. The reason being right here. Physical defense. These are, in my opinion, and I think the community somewhat agrees as a whole, but physical is like the worst typing in the game right now, besides Jane. Jane's the only good one that kind of came out recently, and Piper to a degree. Piper was kind of decent. And defense is most certainly the worst like character class type. The reason for this is there's just no usefulness for them. All of the harder content in the game, like Shiyu Defense and Hollow Zero, primarily requires damage check or time check, pretty much. Like, how fast can you clear the Shiyu Defense? You know, to get S rank, to get the most rewards, you need to clear each one within like 5 minutes. A defense character is not going to help you clear in 5 minutes. A damage type is. A stun type is. An anomaly type is. A support is. A defense, no. Defense just straight up, no, they're not gonna help. Sure, they might buff the team a bit, or Caesar specifically debuffs the enemy and buffs the team a bit, but a defense character's main purpose is, well, defense, to help your team and them survive. The thing is, if you're playing correctly, you're probably perfect dodging or defensive assist, like, every chance you get, so you shouldn't even be getting touched. And if you get touched, that's going to hurt your time. So, a defense character isn't... It's just not made for the harder content in the game. They're not useful. They're not good. They don't do damage. Or they do damage, but not enough. Not like an attack type. They're not really going to help you do much more damage. Not as much as a support type would. Or a stun type even. Like, Qingyi helps put stun damage multiplier up on the enemy, so instead of doing like 150%, you're doing like 210. Caesar isn't doing that. She's not nearly debuffing or buffing the enemy enough to make up for... How do I put it? Not to make up, but pretty much to match the other characters and their options. You know, like I said, Qingyi has the stun damage multiplier. Nicole's support percentages are way above Caesar's. Lucy's are above. Like, you're just not ever going to put Caesar on the team in replacement for any of the other characters. It's not a good value. Caesar as herself is a decent character. I think from what I've seen, people seem to think that she's underwhelming, and I would agree. She's a decent character. She's definitely capable of clearing some of the harder content if you put her on the right teams, but I just don't think it's worth it. Like, if you have little to no teams or you're playing completely free to play, this is a must skip. A must skip. Do not summon on this banner. I'm not even going to talk about the W engine, really, because if you're not even gonna really want to summon on the character, there is absolutely no reason to even touch or look at this. This is something you should probably be skipping most of the time anyway. If you're not like a complete whale, but for the character itself, completely no. Big no. Cool character, like her design, like her as a character. I like her playstyle too. She has a literal like shield parry mechanic. It's good. She has decent AoE and group like stuff too, but like I said, her her stuff isn't good. It's not gonna help. Like, let's go to my agents here, okay?
I shall follow your orders.
If I were to pull Caesar, I have every character here except for Soldier 11, Grace, and Caesar herself.
That's me.
If I were to pull Caesar, what teams would I even be putting her on? I'd put her maybe with, I don't know, Jane and Lucy, I guess, or Piper, Lucy, but then you have, okay, Piper's doing a majority of the damage, but she's not going to be doing enough to help. You're replacing a stun type unit on the team, so it's going to be harder to stun people. Sure, you'll survive more having Caesar on the team, but she's not, you don't need to survive. It's simple. You don't need to survive.
Only the brave will win. That's me.
Like, I don't know how else to put it other than defense characters are utter trash. Useless. Useless trash. Ben, when he on release, was unrunnable, unusable. Don't use him. There's no point in using him over anyone else. Like, Seth, useless. Why would I ever put Seth on the team instead of Ching-Yi or Ambi or Rena when it comes to electric people? Even Anton is better if I wanted to fill in an electric slot. Like, he's not buffing the team as much as Rena is. He's not assisting me in stunning and clearing time, like stunning the enemy faster so I can clear the time faster in Shiyu defense like Ching-Yi is. He's not doing that. And it's the same case with Caesar. She is not helping in the ways she needs to. She helps the team by putting shields and their anti-interrupt level and by debuffing the enemy a little bit and, you know, being an overall all-rounder, helping your team survive and push through a fight. But that's not the content we're given. Maybe in the future, Caesar will be top tier when we have events that require survivability. Like, maybe they come out with a game mode that has like a lot of enemies rushed at you and you have to survive for a certain amount of time. Like, they throw a bunch of bosses or a bunch of little enemies at you over and over, and like they're really hard to kill. Like, they have high defense or something, or they're unstunnable or something like that, and you have to survive for 5 minutes. Then Caesar, Seth, and Ben and any other defense characters will actually be useful in clearing that. But until we get content that's actually threatening, like enemies that actually threaten my health, that I die on, and not die because I'm under-leveled, you know, that's a different story. If you're under-leveled or under-skilled and you're not grinding your characters enough, that's your fault. You know, you can always just continue and grind more and then beat it. I'm talking about like the characters all max level, maxed out, all done, like, besides duplicates and stuff, it's just not necessary. Now, to preface as well, I always think that people should summon on whatever they want. If you love Caesar, if Caesar's your favorite character in the game, and you want to pull her, go right ahead. She'll be useful, she'll be interesting, she'll be fun to play. I can't deny that, you know? Her playstyle looks fun, she seems like a cool character to use. But when we're talking bare bones necessity, do you need to summon on her? Hell no. Should you maybe summon on her? Even as a newer like a newer player or something, like you just got the game. No. Even if you just got the game today, this is a banner I would suggest not summoning on. She's not going to help you build out a team that's going to be useful. She's not going to help you in the later content. There's no point in having her. Especially with an extremely, I think, probable must summon in the next banner with Bernice. Bernice is going to be so useful for so many teams because she's Fire Anomaly. Fire needs a little bit of help. We have Kaleda, we got Lucy, we have Soldier 11, we got Ben. The Anomaly slot for them hasn't been filled, and Bernice filling that is good. Also, Bernice is probably going to pair the best with Jane. Jane and Bernice is probably going to be a super cracked out team. This is something you should really consider when skipping Caesar. Because Bernice is a character that I think, a new character that if you got the game the day her banner is out, you should definitely summon. Because, I mean, just the team alone of, sorry, let me go to the agents, of just Bernice, Piper, Lucy, is going to be a crack team on its own. That's 3 Sons of Caledon. You throw the Bang Boo on there as well. You got 2 anomalies. You're going to get the Discord up. It's just, it's going to be cracked. It's going to be a good team. It's going to be a good team. It's that simple. Anomalies are slowly but surely shining and showing their potential off. Like Jane proved that anomalies can be just as good as attack types. You know, like she puts out crazy burst damage. Or not really burst, but more like build up and then burst. Building up the anomaly and then just boom, the assault comes off. It's going to be the same thing with Bernice. Getting the burn off consistently and having your enemy burn even while you're trying to like stun them is going to be so useful. And again, another thing, Caesar's not going to be good on Bernice's team. It's not going to help. And then on top of that, we have Lighter, the first male S-rank character coming in 1.4, and he's a fire stun type, which is going to help Bernice even more. Like, how much more clearer do I need to make it that Caesar is just an utter skip, a pointless character, somebody that shouldn't even be released at this point. Unless their plans for the future, like I said, include content that you need to survive, this is a banner that should just be utterly... You shouldn't... Close your eyes, don't look at it, don't be tempted, and don't summon on this. Like I said though, if you really like the characters, do whatever you want with your currency. Your IRL money or your in-game money, do whatever you want, you know? But for the people who care and for the people who want to build like meta teams or like, is Caesar gonna help me clear it? Like, is it gonna help me get a new record on like the highest EU defense? No. Just no. Just stop it. She's not. So that's really it. I think I made myself very clear. And that's really all for this video, guys. I mean, Caesar's probably one of the... I've been playing since the Ellen banner was out, obviously, and it's just like... Caesar's a disappointing release for me. She's a cool character. I wanted her to be decent, but the defense type just sucks. And her... Not just the defense type, but she's physical defense, and physical just isn't a good... It's not in a good place right now. Jane helped out, but it's just not really good. Jane and Piper are kind of the only useful ones. Nekomata is not very good. Billy's not very good. Corin, not very good. You know, physical's not in a good spot. So her being physical, and then on top being the absolute useless worst class type, it just doesn't help. So that's all. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Disappointed today with this, but I'm very excited for Bernice in 20 days. Have a good one, and see you guys.